Three experienced lighthouse keepers vanished from a remote Scottish island in December 1900. No trace of them was ever found. The Flannan Isles sit roughly 20 miles west of the Outer Hebrides. They are small, jagged, and brutally exposed to the North Atlantic. The lighthouse on Eilean Moor had only been operational since late 1899. It was staffed by rotating crews of keepers employed by the Northern Lighthouse Board. The three men assigned there in November 1900 were James Duckett, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur. All three were experienced maritime workers. Duckett was the principal keeper, a veteran of decades at sea. They were responsible for maintaining the light and keeping meticulous log entries. No one expected anything unusual. On December 15, 1900, the passing steamer Archdor noted that the Flannan Isles light was dark. A functioning lighthouse going dark in a busy shipping lane was a serious concern. The relief vessel Hesperus, captained by Jim Harvey, was already scheduled to make a supply run. Bad weather delayed that visit until December 26th. When the Hesperus arrived, no one came to meet them at the landing. That was the first sign something was deeply wrong. The flag was not raised as protocol required. The relief keeper, Joseph Moore, went ashore alone. He found the entrance gate and the door to the lighthouse both closed. Inside, everything was still. Two sets of oilskins and boots were missing from their hooks, but a third set remained. The clock on the wall had stopped. The beds were unmade. A chair near the kitchen table had been knocked over and not righted. A meal appeared to have been prepared but not eaten, though later accounts varied on the exact details. Moore searched the entire island. There was no sign of the three men anywhere. Captain Harvey notified the Northern Lighthouse Board immediately. An official investigation was launched within days. Superintendent Robert Muirhead traveled to the island personally. He examined the log entries, the last of which was dated December 15th. The entries described severe storms and noted that experienced keeper Duckett and Marshall had been visibly distressed. Marshall was described as having been crying in one entry. MacArthur, normally described as a tough and steady man, was also noted as being in a state of fear. Muirhead observed damage at the west landing of the island. Iron railings had been bent. A large box of equipment stored in a crevice more than 30 feet above sea level had been swept away. The damage was consistent with an extraordinarily violent wave event. However, no storm of that recorded severity had been officially logged in the area on those dates. Several theories have been proposed over the decades. The most widely accepted is that the men were caught by a rogue wave or surge while working at the West Landing. The physical damage to the rock face supports the idea of a wave of enormous force. The missing oilskins suggest two men had gone outside while the third followed without his gear, perhaps in a panic. Another theory involves an argument among the men escalating into violence, but no evidence supports this. Some have pointed to the emotional log entries as evidence of psychological deterioration, though the cause remains unknown. Others have speculated about waterspouts or sudden freak weather events that left no broader record. The paranormal theory, involving the island's old reputation as a haunted place, has never been taken seriously by investigators. What no theory has fully explained is the stopped clock, or the overturned chair that no one bothered to write, or why a man as experienced as Donald MacArthur would go outside without his protective gear in brutal Atlantic winter conditions. The official inquiry returned a verdict of accidental death by drowning, but it was an assumption, not a conclusion backed by physical evidence. No bodies were ever recovered. No wreckage attributed to the men was found. The exact sequence of events has never been established. Over 120 years later, three men simply ceased to exist on a remote island. And we are still left asking the same question that haunted every investigator who walked those cliffs. What did James Duckett write in that log that made hardened maritime men weep with fear? Leave your theory in the comments.